The average bedtime in the United States is 11:15 p.m., which means statistically, most of you guys should not be up watching this right now. And if you are, then go to sleep. But that had me thinking. That means a lot of you guys are not spending time on apps after midnight. And so I thought it'd be a good experiment to try out apps like Uber, DoorDash, Facebook Marketplace, and much more to see what the heck these apps look like after midnight. But with that being said, we have a lot to get to. So without further ado, grab your popcorn and let's do this. So I'm about to call a midnight Uber. Well, it's 12:15 right now, and Ubers right now are lower than usual, which is nice. But the issue is that there's somebody available, but they're 11 minutes away. And just for context, usually you have somebody readily available within 2 minutes. So clearly not as many drivers at night, but I'm interested in the type of driver. Who are we gonna get? Who is out driving past 12 o'clock, picking people up, taking them in their car and going somewhere? Well, we're gonna find out. So I ended up doing an Uber Comfort because it came in the shortest amount of time. And what's cool is you can put the conversation level on here. And so I wrote happy to chat because I wanna learn more about this guy and why he's driving Uber this late at night. So we got our driver. His name is Dylan. This is what Dylan looks like. And he actually has 4.98 stars. He's taken 7,500 trips over 3.5 years, which is a lot of trips. Somebody actually wrote the best Uber driver we've ever had. Very friendly, personable, and professional. I don't know if I believe that. I never really trust Uber drivers this late at night. He drives a gray Volkswagen Passat. All right, we're gonna get in. He's actually almost here. He came very quickly too. I thought this guy was gonna take like 8 minutes. He took 2 minutes. So he's about to arrive. This might be the last time you see me. Keep that in mind. I am about to go, just so you know my location. Always tell a friend where you're going somewhere. I'm telling you guys, I am about to enter an Uber with Dylan very late at night in an abandoned area with drones flying above my head. I feel like New Jersey's not a real place sometimes. Oh, here he is, here he is. Hey, how are you, Sam?
You want to make another video?
Oh, yeah, so we just like highlight what we do at nights and capture it and stuff.
I'm coming to pick up you, and I will open the door for you.
Oh, you want to do that? That'd be fun.
When I will come, I will stop. Just, I mean, in that time, you will walk through me, okay?
Okay.
And he to record from what side?
Director Dylan here. So what he's gonna do is stage an approach in which he basically comes around. I've never had this happen. This isn't staged. I didn't ask him to do it. It was a pretty quiet ride up until the 1 minute mark. He noticed the camera and he was super cool. Never had an Uber driver do this. At midnight, I guess what they're willing to do is come around and do some games, some fun here. And he was like directorially pretty good. He's like, don't look at the camera. You stay here. You walk in from here. We're about to stage for you guys. He wants this to appear as the first time, but I want you to know how intense this guy is. Hey, how are you? Thank you so much. All right, this is perfect though. Thank you again, sir. Here, as a tip thank you so much for, yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thank you, Dylan, absolutely. Thank you, sir. Really cool guy. I got into the car, he still kept his cool. He was just like all about the content. You would think this guy is like a seasoned YouTuber. He just knew certain things I wouldn't expect. He's like, oh, your friend's taking B-roll. I'm like, that's what it's called. So this guy is a veteran, very cool guy. I've never had that happen. Uber after midnight, huge success. I love it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit scared about this next app after midnight because we'll be going on Facebook Marketplace and meeting up with a complete stranger, a random, at some time after 12 o'clock so that we can do an exchange of items. Now, Facebook Marketplace is completely unregulated. You can meet up with literally anybody to buy anything. So I pulled up some local listings here, so I'm gonna try to find something and somebody who will meet up with me after midnight. All right, so let's see what people are selling nearby. Ooh, Super Smash Bros. Melee for 20 bucks. That is actually a steal right there. Nerf gun collection, a little bit scary. Nintendo Switch, we can get a mountain bike. I mean, I'm gonna send out some feelers because I have to literally find somebody who's willing to even meet up in the first place. That looks cool. A mini drone. Okay, I'm gonna start off by getting this Nerf gun collection because getting guns off of Facebook Marketplace after midnight just sounds like a bad idea. So let's see what this person says. His name is Jones Nick. Hi, would love to purchase this. I'm available to meet up around 1 a.m. if you can. Let me know. And that's gonna be my target message to basically everybody. All right, let's do some other feelers here. I kind of want this electric scooter. It looks crazy. Practically new with only 258 kilometers. Is that a lot? That does look sick. Wait, what? I could buy an actual vending machine? Fully operational vending machine, cash or Venmo only, pickup only. Why would I purchase an entire vending machine? Okay, this Super Smash Bros. Disc, I have to get my hands on. So let's send that same message here. All right, what about this HP laptop that I could see if there's anything crazy on it? Oh, it's a video. No box, charger, and laptop. Okay, I want this. Then I'll also do these Pokemon cards. All right, and just like that, now we wait. I have 5 feelers out. Whoever bites on this and wants to meet up with me late night is going to be not only a weird person, but a pretty desperate person who's looking to make a sale. To me, though, so I guess I'm the desperate one here. All right, so good news. We actually ended up getting an answer from Jones Nick with no profile picture who wants to deal us Nerf guns in the back of a gas station at around 12 o'clock. So he said yes, he agreed to it. So I'm excited to meet up with him, but this might just be the sketchiest meetup in history. Facebook Marketplace after midnight. This may be the last time you see me. Let's see. I mean, I'm just curious how we're gonna have that initial interacting. Like, are you the guy? Like, I don't know how this goes down. I've never actually, now that I think about it, purchased something off of Craigslist, off of Facebook Marketplace, where I met up with somebody who I didn't really know what they looked like. Because I bought a car for one video, which I did like legal criminal activities, and that was off of Facebook Marketplace. But this is totally different. This is a probably weird person at night, and I don't have a face. We're arriving now, so let's see. All right, so far, I don't see anybody. I see 3 kids over there, but I don't think it's gonna be them selling guns. Now, if I was somebody who was selling guns, I would go in the back of the Wawa. Oh, he texted me, he said gray BMW coupe. So I'm gonna have to look for that. I think I see him in the distance there. It's a very active parking lot. There's people like with their cars out. Looks like we're getting up to some racing. I've never been in a parking lot this late at night. Yo, are you Jones?
Yeah.
Thanks for meeting up. Sorry we're late.
Oh, this is all of it?
Oh, nice. So I post like shorts and longs and
I've seen you on TikTok.
Oh, for real?
Like, wait, well, yeah, 100% seen you.
Also, wait, I meant to ask, is your name Jones or Nick?
That's a fake name.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I was like sketched out at first. I was like, there's no profile picture.
I don't use my name.
Oh, good. Okay. All right, so it's an alias. Would you say this is like your latest meetup that you've done?
100%.
Let's load them into here. This thing's heavy too. There's got to be like at least 20, 30 guns. All right, yo, thanks again.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're a normal person. it was 50-50. We were like, it's gonna be normal, it's gonna be weird. Facebook Marketplace was a success. It went a lot better than I thought. Luckily, the guy kind of knew who I was a little bit, but he was younger, he was 20, he was grinding. He didn't have an actual name. Actually refused to say his name, which I respect. Completely anonymous, off the grid guy. Seemed like he had his head on straight, so shout out to Nick Joseph, or whatever his real name is. We got lots of guns, which was fun, just for YouTube's sake, Nerf guns, and we're ammoed up too, all for $100, and I tipped him 20, so $120, but very successful. On to the next. The next app that I will be testing out after midnight is TaskRabbit. Now, if you haven't heard of TaskRabbit, it's basically an app in which you can hire somebody to come over to your house to perform a particular task. So whether it's cleaning, assembly of furniture, painting, whatever it may be, they come to you and they do any task you want them to do. So I was able to get in touch with somebody named Roberto, who is a jack of all trades. He said he could do absolutely anything, and he was available after the midnight hours. He, in fact, actually preferred after the midnight hours. Now, I don't really have a task for Roberto to do, so I'm just gonna tell him to basically clean up around here, and so I'm gonna have cameras just in different areas, which he's obviously not gonna be aware of, and I'll blur his face and stuff for privacy. I just wanna see what he does at midnight. I'm gonna be taking a shower or something while he's doing all of this, so just like heighten the vulnerability. I'm gonna be like upstairs showering, you know, like when you think that somebody's gonna stab you when you're like putting shampoo in your hair. That could be a very real scenario. So if you don't end up seeing this clip, then you know what happened to me. If you do see it, then hopefully things went okay, but maybe something else crazy happened. Literally anything could happen, so let's see. Okay, he just messaged me and he's here now. All right, so Roberto was awesome. He actually ended up telling me some stuff that happened. So he brought me over to the sugar glass movie prop beer bottles that I used in a previous video, and they just break very easily. And he actually fessed up to the fact that he broke it. So he showed me what had happened. I'm like, okay, that's completely fine. He just broke the bottom of it. I feel like anybody else wouldn't have told me that. So thank you for being honest. And that's okay. I mean, I expected. I totally forgot that I had those. He was also very transparent that he was looking at things. Like he was really obsessed with the tarantula thing. He's like, oh, can I take a picture of that so I can show it to my daughter? I was like, yeah, for sure, go for it. He was really nice. He said that he loved my chair, so he was like going around in the chair and stuff. So I'm excited to watch this footage, because when I saw him at first, I just told him like, oh, you know, just like clean the floors, look around, you know, if you see something that looks cool, feel free to interact with it. And he definitely did. Literally the most normal possible person I could have found. So huge shout outs to Roberto, but let's look at this footage. Wow, he's even like wiping down the katana and then that head. Okay, so this looks to be where the beer bottle breaks. which is fine. Looks like it's cleaned up and stuff. Okay, so he sits on the gorilla couch. You know, I did notice that it deflated a little bit, so I guess that's why he was having some fun. And look at him enjoying the chair. I mean, he was upfront about literally every single thing I'm seeing. It's just funny just seeing him do it. But yeah, he was enjoying the chair very much so. But even cleaning like little corners, he went in the bathroom and cleaned that. And then as you can see there, playing with the Tesla coil.
Mic check, feel like pina coladas.
All right, honestly, not what I expected at all. That's actually very funny. I did not expect to get that from a TaskRabbiter after midnight, but ended up being fun. I'm glad that he had some fun with it. He definitely took the instructions very liberally, and he did end up cleaning very nicely. Like, everything smells fresh. He used this cleaner and just like pretty much put it everywhere, so very happy with that. You know what? I loved Roberto. He was awesome, so I want to go ahead and send an email to the TaskRabbit CEO herself to try to like get him more recognition. All right, so I found the email address for Anaya Smith, who's the CEO, so now it's time to construct this. All right, so here's what I wrote, which obviously isn't optimized, and I really do want to get a response from them, so I do need to get this right. Luckily though, I have Grammarly, an AI writing partner that seamlessly integrates with Gmail and other apps to make this more professional. Now their free features are already great, but in this instance, I'm going to utilize Grammarly Pro because this will really help me level up my communication. So in this case, I really like that I could personalize my voice. So first I can set my voice to be distinct, so I'd want to make it pretty formal, personable, witty, and direct, adjust my profession, and then obviously American English in this case. And from here, I can also leverage this really cool feature where it anticipates any possible follow-up questions in my initial email, so less back and forth, and of course, optimizes readability. So afterwards, after using Grammarly Pro, we went from this, which is the old email, to now this. All of this done in a few clicks, not a few hours. But yes, make sure to sign up and upgrade to Grammarly Pro to level up your productivity. It certainly helped mine. All right, so now the message has officially been sent. Now we wait. Okay, so I literally got a response relatively quickly from the CEO who said, "Thanks so much, Sam, forwarding this on to my team. We appreciate Roberto." All right, that's pretty awesome. So I hope Roberto gets some sort of compensation in some sort of way, but let's move on. The next app I'm going to be trying out after midnight may just be the craziest one yet. It's called Randonautica, and it sends you on a random adventure somewhere nearby. And apparently there's something to these adventures that makes it usually pretty scary. So in some cases, like in Seattle, they sent these teens on an adventure in which they went to a beach and found a dead body chopped up in a bag. So they give you random coordinates to go to. You go there, you explore the surrounding areas and see what treasure you find. Or in some cases, I guess not treasure, but rather chopped up people. After midnight definitely does make this a little bit eerie. I've never been on this app before. It actually sounds kind of potentially fun, but I'm probably gonna end up eating my words. Okay, so it has to detect my location, and then from there, it's gonna send me on some sort of trip, and then I'll be sure to prompt it to give me something after the midnight hours. Okay, so I got my coordinates. It's giving me this park that's about 15 minutes away, so I'm kind of intrigued as to what's here at midnight. It's a little bit scary. It's the corner of a park at midnight. I'm sure there's not gonna be any lights in there or anything, so I'm gonna go ahead and check this out. It told me to go at the midnight hours. Probably not gonna end up seeing me. This may be the final video you see of me, but let's go ahead and do this. All right, so I am on my way to Randonautica's coordinates, which are at this really random park. Didn't even like show up properly on Google Maps, which is already a red flag. And the purpose of Randonautica is to just explore the coordinates that they drop for you, which of course I prompted them to give me a midnight location, and this is where they're bringing me. So I have no idea what this is gonna look like. It's already looking a little bit weird, something that I wouldn't do normally if I wasn't filming a video. I mean, not that I'd probably like traverse and see random coordinates anyways, but I don't know where I am, I don't know where I'm going, but we're about to find out. All right, so we've arrived at the Randonautica location. It is just in this really narrow park where I'm already seeing some interesting movement around here. Now I'm gonna track it down to the actual area that it told us to go to, and it's just gonna be about 50 feet this way. All right, the first location prompts us right here, which is just a bench, but I guess I have to look around for something. They claim there's an anomaly here. I don't know if we're going ghost hunting, I don't know what that means, but this app sent me here. Is that like algae growing on this bench? All right, so our first clue is that the bench is broken, which means that something happened here. Something went down at this park at some point in the distant past, and I guess we're gonna have to figure out what that is. Right now, I guess this was our first sign, so I'm gonna submit that, and then we'll move on to the next, and then we'll see if there's any way we could piece this together. All right, so the next location shows right in these cornfields. Cornfields from movies are usually the scariest places where all the serial killers hide. I don't know if I'm gonna go in there because I don't want ticks, which I feel like it's a pretty rational approach that more people in movies should take, but I am gonna like just look amongst the perimeter to see if there's anything I could find that's a little bit out of place. All right, so let's look through here. It wouldn't bring me here if there was absolutely nothing to get. All right, I think we have to go deeper into the park because I'm just realizing these cornfields extend pretty far back. So in order to reach what we have to get to, I think I have to keep walking more and more in, unfortunately. So I found a water fountain that has rust all over it. And if you know anything about rust, you cannot touch that because then you'll get tetanus. I'm gonna try to turn it on, but water and rust is not a good mix. You do not want to ingest this. I don't even know if this is gonna work. No, it's not working. So this is an abandoned water fountain. That's so weird. What are they hiding? All right, so I think I found what they ideally wanted us to look at. So on the outskirts of this park area, there's caution tape right there. I see a fallen tree, and then the sprinklers are oddly on. So I'm gonna investigate a little bit further, try to dodge some of this water. It's like it's there on purpose. They don't want you to investigate.
A mushroom. Mamma mia.
All right, I don't have a great feeling about this place. So the caution tape we tried to investigate, but of course the sprinklers were magically turned on at 12:30 at night. So we couldn't go any further. We did see some weird things, like some interesting mushrooms, and we saw a tree that was maybe hit by lightning. So maybe that was like a supernatural spot, just like a lot of gravitational force to that area. I don't know. Very weird park though. There's definitely some things in here that I don't like, and I probably wouldn't be doing if I wasn't exploring things after midnight, but here we are. And there's one more spot to go to. We've encountered another animal in this park. And deer are thought to be, are they negative symbols? Killing of a sacred deer? No, they're sacred. Okay, so new update. Okay, he's gone. The deer left. He doesn't like us. All right. Are you seeing this? There's more caution tape. So there's a lot of caution tape here. I think there was a fallen tree. So there's definitely some seismic activity happening here. I think that's why I was ultimately drawn here. That is 2 instances of caution tape in the past 2 locations. There's definitely a larger mystery at play here. Every time we go towards the caution tape, the sprinklers get turned on. It's almost like they're activated as soon as people start to investigate what we shouldn't be investigating. All right, I don't want any more part of this. I'm starting to get a little bit creeped out. Randonautica after midnight, do not do. Some people found a dead body chopped up in a suitcase in Seattle. While we didn't get that, this is just only looking at the surface of things. Who knows what the major reason behind these trees falling were. The next app that we're gonna be testing out is none other than Pokemon Go, which I haven't touched since 2016. I don't think anybody watching this probably has. I don't know how this app is still even alive, but apparently it's popping. So I'm gonna test it out after midnight because this is when the Pokestops are full, when you can get a bunch of different rare Pokemons. I don't even know if that's even what happens in this game, but we're gonna find out. So Pokemon Go, I think, just requires you to walk around crowded areas and like interact with Pokemon trainers and like try to find like different Pokemon to catch. There's my guy, Chicky McNugs, level 22, starter Pokemon Dragonite. We are right now heading over to a Pokestop. This Pokestop is near the Dave & Buster's. Lots of fun, lots of activity. So I'm hoping the energy of Dave & Buster's matches the energy of the Pokestop. I'm expecting like 10 people here, everyone going crazy. Because the last time I touched Pokemon Go, it was like the thing. You couldn't find a Pokestop that was unoccupied. So this would be great if we ran into some fellow Pokemon Go players. Okay, a wild Magnemite has appeared. What do I just... So I just caught a Magnemite. Just a little pit stop, catching a quick Pokemon. So there's actually 3 Pokestops right here. So I just put in like some elixir that gets us rare Pokemon for the next like 20 minutes. So we're gonna wait around here, try to get some Mewtwo's or something, whatever the rare Pokemons are here. What a great game. Literally not a soul in sight. I thought this was gonna be popping. Maybe it is just after midnight. Maybe Pokemon Go actually has a fandom during like the 6 p.m. hours. Oh, that's what it's showing as the Pokestop. Oh, so the Pokestop is there. That's why. The Pokestop is actually over here. It matches up with what's on screen. So on screen, it's called the beer delivery wall sculpture of 3 beer delivery men carrying kegs into the yard house. Okay, so this is actually the Pokestop. So I'm just gonna wait here until I see a Mewtwo. Oh, wait a second, what is this? A wild Esper. That's crazy. Catcher. Him. 1, 2. No, okay. This is literally the rarest Pokemon to ever exist. If I catch this, this would be a historic moment. Let's go! Oh my gosh, I can't believe I just caught that. An Esper Kalos 677 in the Pokedex entry. These things are so rare. Literally only after midnight are you able to do what I just did right there. Pokemon Go after midnight, cheat code to getting the most legendary Pokemon. You just saw it right there in front of this Pokestop that I activated. Actually crazy. Let's move on. So I'm gonna order some food off of Uber Eats. So I'm gonna see what's open during the late night hours, the 24-hour restaurants. So we have your classics, McDonald's, Taco Bell, Wendy's, Wendy's, Popeyes, Papa John's. I want something that you wouldn't expect at midnight to be open. Okay, I'm going to order from White Castle because it has a 4.3 on DoorDash, which is unbelievably low for a known fast food restaurant, and 7,000 ratings. So most people who are typically generous and giving 5 stars are probably giving this like 3 stars or worse. I'm gonna order their cheese slider meal. If you don't know what White Castle is, it's some of the worst burgers you'll ever have. I'm really curious what the quality is because to me, the quality is already so bad. So how much worse does it get into the midnight hours? All right, so the White Castle has officially been ordered. We're gonna wait this out and see what the quality is like. So the very late night White Castle has now arrived. We're gonna see the quality of this because, as I said, White Castle is not known for its quality, but are they known for their quality after midnight? Maybe things do a little bit of a 180. First up, the fries. Completely out of the box, as expected. There's like 3 fries in here, but there are actually a good amount in the bottom here. And to be fair to them, the quality of these fries out the gate don't seem terrible. They have their crinkle cut fries, pretty warm, nicely salted. Yeah, I mean, it's what you'd expect. It's still like a 4 out of 10, but for White Castle standards, it's decent. Here we go, moment of truth. What do White Castle burgers after midnight look like? I just don't get who could eat this. The pickle is bigger than the actual burger. Look how thin that is. Can't really judge a burger by its look. No. The quality is not worse at midnight on these things. They're just bad, but they're not worse at midnight. They're still bad, but they're as bad as you'd expect. So we took an Uber. Now we're gonna take a Lyft to see what Lyft is like after midnight. So Lyft is apparently a little more jank after midnight because Uber has more total drivers. So you're less likely to get a driver, and if you do get one, probably gonna be a weirdo. Not like our guy Dylan. So it actually takes 20 minutes to get a ride right now, unless you do priority, in which you could get somebody in 8 minutes. So that's what I'm gonna do. Notably, it's actually cheaper on Lyft than it is Uber, even though there's less drivers, so supply and demand doesn't really work out there. Okay, finding your driver ASAP. Let's see if that's true. So we have Melissa in a Nissan Kicks. I didn't even know that was a car, is coming in 11 minutes. So that is considered the shorter wait time with priority pickup, 11 minutes. Now she does have 5 stars, 600 rides. She's been driving for 8 months and she looks like a very nice lady. Has gotten some ride compliments saying she's friendly and she has good driving. I will be the judge of that. So it looks like the Lyft driver has arrived. Oh, okay, she's over here. So there we go. This is Melissa. Hello. Sam? Thank you so much. Have a good night. That was just like your classic Uber slash Lyft drive where she was just kind of like on the phone on her AirPods, just kind of like listening to music or whatever, and there was just no communication. It was a quick ride, so not that I expected much, but nothing happened there. There was literally nothing. I have like nothing to say about that. So for this next segment, the midnight app that I will be checking is going to be DoorDash for a delivery driver who's going to be picking up groceries for me, but what I'm going to do is tell him to surprise me. Similar to the previous video I put out, but this time instead of fast food restaurants, it's going to be at a CVS or some sort of grocery store. So I'm gonna give him about $25 and I'm gonna see what he wants to get me. Anything at midnight. So it's probably gonna be like a Monster Energy and like a 7-Eleven hot dog, but let's see what he gets. So just to make this budget high, I'm gonna buy 3 variations of fruit roll-ups to give him 30 bucks. And then when I add the instructions here, I'm gonna say, hey man slash ma'am, can you please surprise me with some late night snacks within the budget I spent? So I don't need the fruit roll-up. Anything goes. So it's gonna come out to $32, so that is the budget they can get me. Any snacks they want. Late night snacks, when you think of late night snack, I don't know what you guys think of. I think of like some Ben & Jerry's ice cream and then maybe some like goldfish. Let's see what they have in mind. All right, so the late night CVS order has finally arrived. We're gonna see whether or not my DoorDash shopper got me some interesting things. So I put down like I think 3 orders of Fruit Gushers to give him 30 bucks to work with. Let's see what these late night snacks look like. Okay, so he didn't go off script for the first one. He didn't go off script for the second one. I literally put in a special request to not get me these. Like, I quite literally wrote down, do not get me the fruit roll-up stuff. And they ended up giving me 3 boxes of fruit roll-ups. What a mess. I mean, I love these. They're like my favorite snacks, but that is a complete waste. What a letdown. I thought that was gonna be pretty fun, but ended up being an L, so not shout out to that guy. You know, it only makes sense, right? DoorDasher shoppers after midnight are not going to be the most pristine shoppers, I suppose. As evidenced by, I mean, he followed instructions, but he didn't follow instructions, so in total, I'd give him like a 5 out of 10. All right, guys. So that was a lot of fun going through these different apps after midnights. Make sure you're exercising precaution if you are using these apps after the 12 o'clock hour. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you want to see more content, make sure to click here, click here. Otherwise, subscribe on your way out, and I'll see you next time. Peace.